Okay, so recording na. Sir, paano po pala setup ng midterms? Sabi kasi nila may vid call something. Parang wala naman nare-relay sa amin na info na ganyan, no? Kasi uno nga, naglabas din kasi yung ano, no? Naglabas na kasi ng info si academic affairs regarding the conduct of online classes, no? So, as much as possible, sana daw walang mga webcam. Kaya ako, I don't require you to open your webcam, 'di ba? Kasi una sa lahat, magastos sa data, no? Imagine na lang pag nag-e-exam ka, magastos sa data yung video, yung exam, mabagal maglo-load yon, especially yung pictures, 'di ba? Kasi tayo, we've been having problems with pictures before, 'di ba? So, I don't as far as I know, no. So wala pa namang guidelines na kailangan may video call, no. So uh, ako, I respect the privacy of the students, no. So ako, yung background ko lang naman is pader. So wala naman masyadong ano diyan. Wala naman masyadong input na makukuha kayo diyan. Pader lang 'yan. So ayun. So basta yun when it comes to usage of webcam, hindi ko i-require 'yan, no. Unless ipa-require nila. Pero I believe hindi nila ipapa-require yan because of bandwidth concerns. Malakas sa data eh. So, imagine kayo, naka prepaid load kayo. So, sayang yung data, di ba? So, yun lang. So, ako, I'm still sa more on ako, mas open na rules, no? So, hindi ako masyado maging strict. Kasi yun nga, sayang data. Hindi naman tayo pare-parehas only internet, 'di ba? So yun. So anyway, so basta yun ha. So ako ayoko talaga ng may webcam kasi sayang yung data. So pero ako, I need to transmit my my video sa inyo para alam niyo itsura ko, 'di ba? Ay, stress na naman si sir, no? So ganun. Yun. So anyway, let's begin our discussion on stoichiometry. No? So recording na. Okay, so let's begin our discussion on stoichiometry. But before tayo mag-start now, I would like to remind you that stoichiometry is just conversion. The end. No? So conversion lang to. So that's why I told you on our first chapter discussion, sabi ko doon that yung ating conversion that is important, especially in stoichiometry, because just like I told you today, ang stoichiometry ay conversion lang. Puro conversion lang ang mangyayari sa atin dito, although we have to integrate all the information, no? Pagsasama-samahin natin lahat ng info about balancing chemical equations, no? So, pagsasama-samahin natin yon dito sa stoichiometry. No? So, yan. Okay, so basta, wag mawiwindang, no? Conversion lang ito. No? So, chillax lang tayo sa pagsosolve. Okay? So, to begin with, no? Ay, ba't may marker doon? So, to begin with, no, this lesson, so ito yung goal natin. Ang nagawa ko sa previous class ko ay ito lang, no? Pointer 1 and pointer 2 yung nasagutan namin. Yung third objective ay in the next week na lang namin kasi pagod na sila, no. So okay lang naman sa akin kasi this is important topic, so you really have to absorb this well. So I will give you enough time to absorb all the information that will be presented to you, no. So today, in this part of the chapter, we have three objectives: to solve the mass-mole relationship, conversion ng mass to moles and vice versa, tapos stoichiometry problems, no? Conversion of the amounts of substance, then last one is the limiting and excess reagent problem and yield calculations, no? So again, ang focus lang muna natin today ay yung first two. Okay, so hindi ko na kayo masyadong i-overload ng information. So sa Monday na lang itong natirang isa. Okay? So Yun, so prepare your calculators with you kasi solving tayo eh. So yeah, have your calculator with you. Yung periodic table nandiyan na naman sa group chat natin. Paki-save na no para tuloy-tuloy tayo mamaya. Okay? So, before we proceed, no, puntahan muna natin itong dalawang terms. So, we have the formula weight and the molecular weight. No? Remember, our chemical formulas, ang makikita natin doon ay mga atoms. No? The number of atoms that are in the molecule. No? So, for example, NaCl. So, may isang Na, may isang Cl. Another example is glucose, C6H12O6. So we have 6 carbons, 12 hydrogens, 6 oxygens. No? So, ano alam natin about atoms? So, every atom contains mass. No? Kasi matter yun eh. So, dapat may mass yun, di ba? So, uh, ibig sabihin nun, each type of atoms na meron sa ating molecule, sa ating chemical formula, may corresponding masses yan. And if they exist as a molecule, no, as a whole, kailangan to obtain the mass of the entire molecule, we have to account for the masses of the individual atoms, no. So, sa pagkuha natin ng mass ng entire molecule natin, it could be either ionic or covalent molecules, may dalawa tayong terms na ma-encounter, no? So, the formula weight and the molecular weight, no? So, when we say formula weight, the formula weight is just the sum of the mass of the atoms or the atomic weights in a compound's formula, no? It could either be ionic formula or covalent compound, no? So, yan. So, applicable siya for two scenarios, no? However, when we say molecular weight naman, this is the mass of the atoms in a molecule that is covalent in bonding. So, meaning walang ions, no? So, ano yung gagamitin? So, ang better option na gamitin ngayon ay formula weight, no? Pwede rin naman molecular weight if you are pertaining to molecules, no? Okay? Pero again, mamaya i-disband din natin to, no? So, ano lang yung gusto nating makuhang idea dito? That our molecules, no? Each atom there consists of each atom possesses different masses, no? So, to get the entire mass ng molecule, yung kabuuang mass niya, so we have to count the masses of each atoms in there, no? Kaya tayo merong tinatawag na formula weight and molecular weight. So, same idea. Ipag-add mo lang yung masses, then, yun, no? Then the units are expressed in atomic mass units or AMU. Okay? So, yan. So, for example, we have glucose. So, calculate the molecular weight of glucose. So, C6H12O6 yan. So, for us to obtain the molecular weight or the formula weight of glucose, all we have to do is to obtain the sum of the product of atomic masses and its atom number. No? So, for example, element CHO. So, ito yung kanilang respective masses which you can find in the periodic table. No? So, for carbon, that's 12.011, hydrogen, 1.008, oxygen, 15.999. Okay. So, kung mapapansin nyo, ako, I use all the digits kasi sa periodic table. No? Kaya, yung binigay ko sa inyong periodic table, yun na rin yung gagamitin natin. No? So, yung complete digits doon ng atomic masses. Okay? So, yan. So, to obtain the molecular weight of glucose, all we have to do lang is to multiply the number of atoms and the atomic mass. So, multiply mo yan, 6 times this, 12 times that, 6 times this. Then, you add them up all together para makuha mo yung molecular weight of the molecule, which is 180.156 AMU, atomic mass units. Na. So, ganun lang ka-easy. In case you have a parenthesis, no? So, kunwari ito. So, urea. So, may parenthesis tayo. Ano gagawin? So, the subscript outside the parenthesis, ano gagawin? You will distribute it, no? I-distribute mo yung 2 sa mga atoms na sa loob, no? You will multiply 2 dito sa nitrogen. You will multiply 2 dito sa H2. Okay? So, keep in mind, ha? Kasi alam ko may iba nakakalimot pa rin talaga niyan, no? So, basta yun, no? So, multiply the subscripts, especially kapag naka-parenthesis na. So, yan. So, you have NHCO, and ito yung kanilang corresponding masses, which you can find in the periodic table. Then, you multiply the number of atoms. Again, pag naka-parenthesis, then may number outside, you distribute them. Okay? So, obtaining the total mass, you have the molecular weight being 60.0567. No? So, ganun lang ka-easy. No? So, this is a preliminary idea. No? Okay. So, ngayon, practice tayo. Um, Sasagutan ko ang 2 items, tapos may tutulong sa akin sa last 3 items. No? So, recitation na lang, raise your hand mamaya. No? So, gawin ko muna yung number 1. So, kayang-kaya natin to. Easy lang to eh. So, we have ammonium sulfate, NH42SO4. No? So, list down natin yung atoms, nitrogen, hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen. So, kunin natin yung atomic masses and yung number of atoms. No? So, i-multiply natin yan, di ba? Tapos ipag-add natin yan lahat mamaya. No? Okay, so, nitrogen. So, ako, tumitingin na ako sa periodic table na sinend ko sa GC natin. Tignan nyo na lang. So, nitrogen is 14.007. Okay. Hydrogen is 1.008. Sulfur is 3206. And oxygen is 15,999. No? Then the number of atoms. So, for NH4 2SO4, how many nitrogen atoms do I have? No? So, may isa sa loob ng parenthesis, pero may 2 sa labas ng parenthesis. So, again, anong ginagawa sa subscript na nasa labas ng parenthesis? We distribute it sa nasa loob. So, this is 2 times 1 nitrogen. So, that means we have 2 nitrogen atoms there. So, we have 4 hydrogens here times 2. So, that's 8. No? So, distribute yung subscript ng parenthesis. No? So, keep that in mind. Sulfur, isa lang yan. And oxygen, 4 yan. No? Okay, so ipag-add ko lang. No? So, allow me to use my calculator. So, okay, so the answer is 132,134. Ito yung aking atomic mass units. Ito yung formula mass niya, no? Or the molecular mass. Ay, hindi. Formula mass yan. Ionic compound to eh. Okay? So, yan. So, this is the formula mass of ammonium sulfate. Okay? So, yan lang. Okay. So, ganun lang. So, sasagot ako ng isa pa, tapos mamaya, kayo naman, no? So, may magre-recite na lang mamaya, and mag-volunteer na. Okay, so yun yung sagot ko sa number 1. So, number 2 na ako. Fe2. Ay, ba't ko gano'n? FeSO. FeI. 55845. 3206. 15,999 times, okay, the number of atoms. I have 2 iron atoms here, so times 2. I have how many sulfur atoms here? So may isa dito sa loob ng parenthesis. However, looking outside the parenthesis, I have a subscript 3. So I'm going to distribute this sa loob. No? So I will distribute this dyan and doon. Okay? So that means I have 3 sulfur and 12 oxygen. So this is 3 times 1, 3 times 4. Okay? So ipag-add natin lahat yan. So kunin natin yung kanilang formula mass. No? Okay, so the formula mass is 399.858, no? 399.858 mu sa atomic mass units. Okay? So, ganun lang ka-easy, no? So, sa ngayon, easy pa lang, no? Okay, so I need 3 volunteers to help me. So, sagutan natin yung 3, 4, and 5, no? So, sige, let's have John Gabriel Miliano. Sige. So, number 3 po.
Sir, sa C po, 12.011 times 13 is 156.143 AMU.
011 times 13. Ilan yan?
156.143.
Then, hydrogen.
Sa hydrogen po, 18 times 1.008 is 18.144.
Oxygen ay
Oxygen po, 2 times 15.999 is 31.998.
998. And in total,
206.285 AMU po.
206.285
285.
AMU. Okay, so ganun lang na. So, thank you, Jan Gabriel. Okay, so ganun lang. Okay, so let's have number 4. Any volunteers? No? Okay, so thank you, Jan. Sino susunod? Sa number 4 naman. Okay, any volunteers? Number 4? Or nagsisolve pa kayo na? Dali. Number 4. Volunteers. Okay, so Jenica Tricia. Okay, so let's have barium phosphate na. Sige.
Sir, barium po is 137.327.
137.
0.327
Okay.
times 3 equals 411.981.
200. Ano?
411.
400. 411.
411.981.
981. Phosphate.
Phosphate is 30.974
Times
2. 61.948.
9.
4, 8.
4, 8.
8.
Okay, then oxygen
15.999 times 8.
times 8 na. So that's ano,
127.992.
998.
2.
992. Okay, so 2 na lang. Then in total, that's
601.921.
921 AMU, atomic mass units. Okay, so thank you, Janica. Okay, so ganun lang ha. So again, pag may parenthesis, distribute na. So wag kakalimutang i-distribute na. Kasi pag hindi yan din-distribute, mali yun na. Okay? So let's have the last one. Any volunteers for lead to chromate? No? So Jefferson Olsen. Sige. Olsen Jefferson.
Sir,
So
for med po, 207.2,
times.
1
So
is equal to
207.2 din yan.
Next po, chromium 51.996 times 1. Ganun din po. Then sa oxygen po is 15.999 times 4, which is 63.996.
60.
3.996.
996. And in total,
323.192 po.
192 AMU. Okay, so thank you, Jefferson. No? Olsen Jefferson. Okay, so ganun yung pag-solve ng molecular weights. No? Why is it important? Kasi if you are not able to arrive with the correct ano with the correct formula weight, magkakamali ka na sa future solving natin, no? So kailangan alam nyo yung mga idea na kailangan pag may parenthesis dinidistribute. Okay? So kailangan correct yung ating molecular weight. And then I am going to uh, ask you to use all the digits na makikita sa ating periodic table na in-upload ko sa GC. So, yan. So, mas maganda kasi mas maraming digits for the reason that mas exact yung ating makukuhang answers. Okay? So, yun lang naman. So, thank you for that na. So, ngayon, punta naman tayo sa mole concept. No? So, tapos na tayo sa idea ng formula mass. No? That is the mass of the atoms in your molecule. And the unit is just atomic mass units. No? So, let's go sa mole concept na. So, imagine mo, meron kang dalawang pirasong sapatos. Okay, so if you have two pieces of shoes, you call them a pair of shoes, no? Pag may, ano, pag may dalawang piraso ng cellphone, pair of cellphone, no? Pag may dalawang piraso ng tsinelas, pair of slippers. Pag may dalawang pirasong tao, couple yon, no? So, pair din yon, no? Okay, so ano mapapansin natin doon? We are making two numbers equal to 1. No? Pinagsasama natin yung dalawang tao. I mean, yung dalawang numbers. No? So, pinagsasama natin sila to make a grouping quantity. No? Okay, so level up tayo. So, if we have 12 pieces of something, we call that a dozen. No? So, kunwari, 12 pieces of eggs, isang dosenang itlog yon. So, if I have 24 pieces of eggs, that's 2 dozens of egg. No? So, and so on and so forth. No? So, I can continue as long as divisible siya by 12. No? So, kunwari, isang dosenang araw bago magpasko. So, sana malapit na. No? So, yun lang. So, ano ginawa natin? I made the number 12 equal to 1 lang. No? So, kinompress ko yung number na 12 para maging isang number na lang. And ang tawag ko doon ay dozen. Okay. So, if you have 500 pieces of something naman, for example, paper, you call them a ream. No? So, R-E-A-M ang spelling ng ream. No? Okay. So, yan, if may 500 pieces ka ng paper, one ream of paper yan. So, that means, if I have 3,000 pieces of paper, that's ilang ream? 6 na ream yan. No? So, and so on and so forth. So, I can continue as long as that is divisible by 500. by 12, or by 2 na. Okay? So, ano yung idea? Yung atoms natin naman, they are way too small than this object. So, meaning nun, yung ating atoms, for them to see them, no, para maging visible sila sa eyes natin, kailangan ay sobrang dami nila, no. So take for example yung pencil natin. So yung pencil na yun, isang tuldok lang ng pencil sa papel, that is equivalent to trillions and trillions of atoms na, no. So para makita mo sila, para mag-signify sila sa iyong senses, kailangan sobrang dami nila, no. So that's why we have the mole concept, no. Okay. So, the first chemist, no, ah, physicist pala siya, no. Although may work din siya sa chemistry, no. So, the first person who investigated on this matter is Amadeo Avogadro. So, kung makikita nyo, medyo malungkot siya, no. So, anong ginawa ni Amadeo Avogadro? So, Amadeo Avogadro actually investigated on the quantification of stuff, no. So, mga atoms, molecules, particles, no? So, siya yung nag-identify ng way to measure them. And then he came up with this value, 6.022 times 10 raised to 23 units. So sabi niya, if yung particles mo ay equal sa ganito karami, then you have a mole of a substance, no? By the way, this number is not just a made-up number, no? So, hindi niya lang hula-hula yan, no? So, that actually came from experimental data. So, dinivide niya yung fundamental charge ng electron divided by the Faraday's constant. Then, he came up with this number, no? The Avogadro's number. No? So, hindi yan, hindi yan hula-hula lang. So, may derivation yan. But anyway, so we will not focus on that kasi physics yan. No? So, dito tayo. No? So, sabi ni Amadeo Avogadro that if you have 6.022 times 10 raised to 23 particles, that corresponds to a mole of that substance. No? So, for example, if we have 1 mole of hydrogen atoms, that means we have 6.022 times 10 raised to 23 hydrogen atoms. No? What if I have 1.2044 times 10 raised to 24 hydrogen atoms? So that means I have 2 moles of hydrogen atoms. No? So I can continue as long as kaya ko siya i-multiply and i-divide. No? So yun lang yung idea, no? That atoms are very small, no? For them to be significant, no? Kaya ganyan din kalaki yung number na yan, no? Okay, and again, yung number na yan, hindi yan hula-hula, no? May derivation yan. So, yun, fundamental charge divided by Faraday. And Faraday's constant divided by fundamental charge, so on and so forth, no? But anyway, so thanks to Amadeo Avogadro, hindi na tayo sad, no? So happy na tayo. Kasi we can quantify matter na. And again, chemistry is reliant on quantification, no? So heavily reliant siya sa measurement, sa calculation. So with this idea laid by Amadeo Avogadro, then we can explore chemistry, no? And its use sa industry and sa life, no? Okay. So yun lang. So ngayon, with the idea of moles na, papasok naman ngayon yung molar mass, no? So 'di ba sabi ni Amadeo, if you have this mole of substance, ganito karaming atoms 'yon. Pero syempre, we cannot count the atoms. Syempre, pag na-count mo 'yan, sasambahin na kita, no? Kasi hindi pwede gawin 'yon, no? So kahit sinong tao hindi kaya mag-count ng atoms, no? So, hindi niya kaya bilangin isa-isa yon. So, walang taong kayang gumawa nun, okay? So, hindi yon challenge. Yun yung katotohanan, no? So, if we have this number of atoms equal to 1 mole, tas hindi natin siya mabilang, then there should be a way para ma-express natin yung substance quantity to mole, no? So, kasi hindi mo siya mabilang, pero 1 mole yon. So, kailangan may ibang paraan, no? Kasi if wala tayong ibang paraan, edi we're stuck, no? So, hindi natin masasagutan yung mga chemistry problems, no? That's why pumasok yung molar mass. So, anong kwento ni molar mass? Sabi ni molar mass, kung hindi mo kaya bilangin, timbangin mo. Okay? So, ganun yung ginawa niya. So, the molar mass gives us an idea about the mass of the atom or the mass of the substance that is equivalent to 1 mole of it, no? So, and conveniently, yung ating molar mass is just the formula weight of the substance, no? So, yun. So, hindi natin kaya bilangin yung atom. So, instead, titimbangin natin, no? And, ginawa dito, for convenience, kung ano yung molar mass, yun din yung formula weight and vice versa, no? So, this time, hindi na natin gagamitin yung molecular weight or formula weight. We will call them molar mass na lang. Okay? So, again, uh, yun lang. And the molar mass, instead of using the units, atomic mass units, yung AMU, ngayon, gagamitin na natin yung unit na grams per mole or G-mol, no? G-mol tawag ko dyan eh. Saan? Si G-mol, no? So, yan yung friend natin na si G-mol. Okay? So, grams per mole. So, ibig sabihin nun, for example, we have glucose. Ang kanyang formula weight ay 180.156 atomic mass units. Ngayon, ang kanyang molar mass ay 180.156 grams per mole. So, ibig sabihin, you should have this number of mass para magkaroon ka ng 1 mole of a substance, no? Okay, so yun lang yung relevance ni molar mass. So, malalaman na natin ngayon yung number of moles of the substance not by counting them, rather by obtaining the mass na lang, no? Okay, so yun. So, kung ano yung mga formula weights natin kanina, yun na rin ang kanilang molar mass. So, ano sabi dito? 1 mole of a glucose is equal to 180.156 grams of glucose. Also, that mass of glucose corresponds to 6.022 times 10 raised to 23 glucose molecules. No? So, yun. Yun lang. So, we can interconvert the mass to the number of atoms through Amadeo Avogadro. So, thank you po. No? So, yan. Yan. So, tapos na tayo. Ngayon, mass-mole relationship na tayo. So, kanina, we are able to get an idea no, on how to quantify matter. No? So, through Amadeo Avogadro's concept of mole, anong pwede na natin gawin? We can indirectly identify the number of atoms. No? Pwede na natin malaman yung number of atoms by just weighing them. No? So, yan. So, malaking breakthrough yon sa science. No? Okay? So, ganun lang. So, ngayon, ang focus naman natin is to convert mass to moles. No? So, sabi natin kanina, ang mass and moles ay related no? By the molar mass. No? So, we can actually use this triangle or you can use this scheme when converting mass to moles and vice versa. No? So, ako, I prefer using the triangle. No? Kasi everything in this world is run by triangles. No? So, yan. Okay. Ay, 'di ba ayaw niya mag-focus sa gitna. Okay, so yan. So tingnan natin yung triangle na to. So this should be familiar with you kasi ginamit natin to sa density. 'Di ba? Density, mass, volume. So ganun din yung usage nito. So this is the parts of the triangle. We have the mass here on the top, moles dito sa gilid, and molar mass, no? So meaning lang yan, if you are solving for the molar mass, you have to divide mass and the moles. Ang mass, ang unit niyan ay grams. Ang mole, ang unit niyan ay mole. So kung kukunin mo yung molar mass, grams per mole. Ganun ha. So yun. So if you're going to solve for the number of moles naman, that would be mass over molar mass. So that's gram divided by gram per mole. That will give you moles. Okay? Then lastly, if you're going to solve for the mass of the substance, you have to multiply mole and the molar mass. So ibig sabihin, this is mole times grams per mole. Magka-cancel yung moles sa numerator and denominator, giving you the final unit of grams na. Mamaya ano na naman ako, mag-stutter na naman ako. So yun lang yung idea ha. So you can use this triangle to save you, no? So yan. So lahat naman ay napapaikot ng triangle. So yan, so kabisaduhin natin yung triangle. On the top, we have the mass. On the bottom, we have the moles and the molar mass, no? If you're solving for so if you're solving one of the components ng triangle, takpan mo lang. Kunwari, I'm solving for this. You divide mass by molar mass. I'm solving for this, divide this by that. I'm solving for this, you multiply the two. Okay? So let's use that na. So first question, how many moles of water are there in 36.5 grams of it na? So from grams, gagawin natin siyang moles. No? So paano yon? Triangle. Nakikita nyo na yung sagot pero pakita muna natin. Okay, so yan, this is the triangle. Mass, mole, molar mass na. So we are going to solve for the mole. So that is grams divided by the molar mass na. So mass over molar mass ang formula. Equal to, okay, so 36.5, ayun yon. Okay, yung 18,015, ito yung molar mass ng water, no? Remember, hydrogen is 1.008 times 2. Oxygen is 15.999 times 1. In total, 18,015 Gmol yan. Okay? So, ganun lang. You can still create table na ako. Until now, nagaganito pa rin ako eh. No? Although, dinediretso ko na siya sa calculator. Okay? So, yun lang. No? Let's have another example. What is the mass of 3.41 mole of ethanol, C2H6O? Triangle uli ng buhay. Lahat naman, pinapaikot ng triangle, no? So, yan. Hinahanap yung mass. So, if you are solving for mass, ano daw gagawin? Mole times the molar mass. So, we have this formula. Okay? So, we multiply 3.41 mole of ethanol times its molar mass. Okay, so carbon is 12.011 times 2. Hydrogen is 1.008 times 6. Oxygen is 15.999 times 1. So in total, that's 46.069 grams per mole. Doon na mapapansin nyo, no, magka-cancel yung units natin. Yung mole and mole magka-cancel, giving you the final answer of 157 grams. No? Dito rin pala, no, yung grams magka-cancel. No? Okay, so yun lang. Okay, so ito naman, another type of mass-mole relationship problem. So ano yung kwento dito? How many moles of nitrogen atoms are there in 21.4 moles of TNT, trinitrotoluene? Ito yung nasa bomba, no? Okay, so that's C7H5 and 3O6. No? Ito yung reason bakit last time, ano po nabutan nyo yun? Before pandemic yon, may mga, di ba sa LRT bawal magdala ng water bottle? Okay. So madali lang kasi gumawa ng trinitrotoluene. You just have to mix one substance and the one substance. Hindi ko sasabihin kung ano yung mga substance na yan. So pag pinagsama nyo yung dalawang yon, bomba yon, no? So madali lang sila gawin no? Kasi liquid bomb lang yan. So pag pumatak yan, sasabog yan, bomba. Okay. So yun yung reason bakit nung nakaraan sa LRT, bawal magdala ng water bottles na maraming liquid, di ba? They are afraid of people making chemical bombs na. Kailan ba yon? Alam ko last time lang yun eh. Sir, sabihin mo na. Wag naman, nasa likod ko yung dolomite eh. Nawala pala yung dolomite sa likod ko. Inanod na yung dolomite sa likod ko, no. So it's so sad, no. Umulan kanina eh. Okay. So anyway, so yan na. So may mga chemistry stuff sa mga nangyayari sa paligid natin, no. Ayun lang. So anyway, so ano yung gusto natin dito sa problem natin, no? Ang gusto natin sa problem nito ay masagutan natin siya, no. So ang tanong dito is the number of moles of nitrogen atoms, no, from TNT, trinitrotoluene. Okay. Isip tayo. May formula tayo. We have molecular formula. Gusto natin makuha yung nitrogen atoms. Paano yon? Easy lang yan. Just check the subscript. No? So if you have 1 C7, H5, and 3O6, meaning yan, ilang nitrogen meron ka? Tatlo. Kasi yun yung subscript niya. No? So you have 3 nitrogen atoms there. Okay? So that means if you have 1 mole of this molecule, that means you have 3 moles of nitrogen atoms as well. Okay, so ganun lang yung basis, no? Tinitignan lang natin yung subscripts, no? So, how many moles of carbon are there in 1 mole of this? Ilang mole ng carbon yan? 7. Kasi 7 yung subscript. Ilang mole ng hydrogen meron dyan? 5. Kasi 5 din yung subscript, no? Ilang moles ng oxygen meron dyan? 6. Kasi 6 yung subscript, okay? So, if ever you are going to convert a formula to the number of atoms, madali lang yan. Just check the subscripts, no? So we can say 3 moles of nitrogen is equivalent to 1 mole of TNT. So we have this now. Okay? So, ayan na. So, if you want to convert the mole of TNT to mole of nitrogen, then we just have to convert ito papunta sa nitrogen. No? So, paano yan? Di ba kanina naka-mole na yung ating TNT, no? So, 21.4 mole na yan. So to convert that into nitrogen, all we have to do is to use the conversion factor na. So conversion factor lang gagamitin natin dito. Gaya nga na sinabi ko, lahat ay conversion factor lang. So this is not new for us na. Especially, this will be the third time na matuturo to sa inyo. No? So yan. So this is our conversion factor. So ano yung conversion factor natin kanina? The conversion factor is the equivalence of nitrogen and the trinitrotoluene. So, ito yung conversion factor natin, no? So, we say 1 mole TNT, 3 moles nitrogen. So, yan. Nasa baba yung TNT for the reason that we want to cancel that unit, no? So, matitira dapat ay nitrogen sa taas, no? Okay, so that's 21.4 times 3 moles nitrogen over 1 mole TNT. You have 64.2 moles nitrogen. Okay, so that's the answer. Well, let's have another example now. So one last example is how many hydrogen atoms are there in 15 grams of water. So again, the formula ng water, H2O. So before you start answering, alamin mo muna yung mga required info. So ito yung nilagay ko na yun sa gilid na. So the molar mass of water is 18.015 gmol. Okay, so 18.015 gmol. Tapos tingin ulit tayo sa problem. So yung water, kukunin natin doon yung dami ng hydrogen atoms, no? So ano ba yung pwede natin i-convert, di ba? So sabi natin kanina, we can interconvert grams to moles or moles to grams, di ba? Pero ang tanong dito ay number of hydrogen atoms yung dami ng atoms ng hydrogen. So ano gagawin natin? We will use the Avogadro's number, no? Magamit tayo ng Avogadro's number. Avogadro's number. Okay, so every time you are going to convert into the number of atoms, number of molecules, number of ions, no? Pag ganun yung tinanong, yung dami ng atoms, molecules, and ions, you have to use Avogadro's number. Otherwise, hindi na. So, more on conversion lang. Okay? So, yun. Kasi, kailangan natin eh. Okay? So, sabi dito no? Ay, teka lang. Lobat. Okay. So, ayun na. Yun lang. So, yan yung unang info natin. No? So, we have to use the Avogadro's number, 6022 times 10 raised to 23 particles. Then, before doing that, no? So, kailangan alam din natin kung gaano karaming hydrogen atom ang meron sa isang molecule ng water. So, in one molecule of water, in one mole of H2O, how many hydrogen atoms are there? Dalawa lang. Kasi H2O yan, no? So, ilang hydrogen atom yan? Edi dalawa, no? So, that means for every mole of H2O, we have 2 mole of hydrogen atom. No? Just look at the subscript. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, paano yung scheme natin dito? Ano yung scheme ng pagsagot natin? So, ito yung answer, no? So, we started with grams of water. Always gumawa kayo ng layout, no? Though kapag expert na kayo dito, kahit di na, okay lang. Pero if hindi pa rin tayo confident sa answers natin or may questions tayo in mind, mas maganda yung may layout muna tayo. So let's do the format ng pagsagot, no? So ano yung format ng answering natin? So we start with grams of water. Then i-convert natin yan to mole of water. So paano natin i-convert yung grams to moles? Molar mass lang yan, no? Okay, so divide mo lang yung mass sa molar mass, you have your moles. Then, pagdating sa mole ng water, makukuha na ba natin agad yung atoms of hydrogen? Not really. Kasi kapag ginamit natin yung Avogadro's number dito, ang makukuha natin ay number of H2O molecules, hindi yung hydrogen atoms na. So that means, itong mole of water, i-convert muna natin into mole ng H, no? Then, since we already have the mole of hydrogen, we can use Avogadro's number to get the number of H atoms. No? So, yun. So, may sequence lang, no? So, for you to be guided, you can create a layout ng pag-answer niya. So, this is recommended, especially for students na nag-struggle dito, no? So, dahan-dahan lang sa pag-solve, no? So, okay lang na basta tama yung sagot na. So, yan. So, dahan-dahan lang pag nagsosolve. Okay, so yun yung first step natin. Convert mass of water to moles of water. So, that's mass divided by molar mass. Ito na yung mole of water. Then, ano sabi natin? Pagkakuha ng mole of water, we have to convert that to moles of hydrogen. Kasi hydrogen atom yung kailangan sa problem. So, we can do that by multiplying the mole of hydrogen by the conversion factor. So, that is 1 mole H2O, 2 moles H, no, hydrogen atom. So, by doing that, we can cancel mole H2O and we will end up with mole hydrogen equal to 1.6653 moles now. Then finally, we have moles of hydrogen. We can now use the Avogadro's number to obtain the number of hydrogen atoms now. So ito yung ito yung moles of hydrogen. Then we use the Avogadro's number. Ano sabi ni Avogadro? 1 mole equals 6.022 times 10 raised to 23 particles now. Okay, so in using this conversion factor, yung nasa baba yung ika-cancel mo. So ibig sabihin nasa baba yung moles, no? Nasa taas yung atoms. So you have this answer. 1 times 10 raised to 24 atoms, no? Okay. So with that, no, we can actually proceed with the exercises na. So ibig sabihin medyo malapit na tayo matapos, no? For this day lang, no. So let's do some exercises, no? WRP lang, no. So sasagot tayo na ako magsasagot ako 2 items, kayo bahala sa 3, no. Okay. So sige. Ano kaya pwede kunin dito? Sagutan ko yung 2 pati yung 3. So that means kayo na bahala dito sa 1, 4, and 5 na. So before kayo magsagot, so sagutan ko muna yung 2 and 3 na para sabay-sabay tayo. Na. Sabi niyan, what is the mass of carbon in 2.5 mole of glucose C6H12O6? So ano yung hinahanap? Mass of C in ano yun? 2.5 mole C6H12O6. Ito yung hinahanap sa atin. Yan, zoom in ko. Pwede pa pala i-zoom in yun. Okay, so we are going to solve for the mass of carbon in 2.5 mole of C6H12O6. So gawa tayo ng layout ng answer. Gawa tayo ng scheme. No? So we start tayo syempre sa given info. No? So ito yung given info sa atin. So start tayo with mole glucose. No? Then ang ending, kailangan makuha natin yung mass carbon. Okay, so anong step pwede natin gawin para makuha yung mass ng carbon? So, wala tayong direct way. So, isa-isa muna. No? So, pwede natin gawin is that from the moles of glucose, kunin natin ang moles ng carbon. Okay, so yun yung first na gagawin natin. So, from the moles of glucose, kunin natin yung moles of carbons. No? So, how many moles of carbon are there in 1 mole of glucose? 1 mole of glucose is equal to 6 moles of carbon. Tignan mo lang yung subscript. No? So, 6 kasi yung subscript. So, 1 mole of this molecule, 6 moles of that atom. Pag hydrogen yan, you have 12 moles of hydrogen atom in 1 mole glucose molecule. Pag oxygen yan, you have 6 moles of oxygen for 1 mole of this entire molecule. Na. So, ganun lang. So, convert natin yung glucose to carbon. Then, since we have mole na ng carbon, then we can do the mass-mole relationship to get the mass of carbon. So, ilang step yung process natin. So, this is the first step, then the second step. No? So, two-way solving tayo. No? Kunin ko muna yung part A, the mole of carbon. So, how I will get the mole of carbon? So, I'll begin with the mole of glucose. No? So, i-multiply ko yung mole of glucose by the equivalence ng glucose to carbon. So, nasa baba yung glucose, syempre, you want to cancel that. Nasa taas yung carbon, kasi yung gusto mo ma-retain. Then, anong kailangan? So, parang gumagawa tayo ng conversion factor. Yes, no? Yan. So, for every mole, for 1 mole of C6H12O6, ilang moles ng carbon meron? Just look at the subscript. 6. Okay, so 6 yon. So, 6 dapat yon. Okay? So, gawin natin yan. No? So, that's a 2.5 mole glucose times 6 mole carbon, 1 mole C6H12O6. So, that will give us, cancel, cannot be, no? And then 15 mole carbon. Tama ba? 612. Tapos 6 times 0.53. 12 plus 3, 15. Okay, so we have 15 moles of carbon in 2.5 moles of glucose. Okay? So, tapos na tayo sa first part. Ang second part, no? Huwag kayo mapagod dito, ha? Kasi paulit-ulit lang naman to, no? So, ako kanina pa akong umaga nagaganito, no? Ako medyo pagod na ako. Pero masaya naman, di ba? Pretend lang tayong masaya. Tapos pagdating ng quiz ng bulaga. No? So anyway. So tapos na tayo dito sa first answer natin. Tapos na tayo sa mole carbon. So proceed tayo with the mass carbon. Ba't mang ingay ng messenger? Ay, wait lang. Ano mga kasama ko sa FEU? Uy, Tom's take note. Nakalagay. Sabi dito, FEU Central Student Organization. Tom's take note. Classes are canceled starting tomorrow, September 25 at 12:01 a.m. until September 30, 7:30 a.m. Online submissions during the maintenance will be rescheduled. Hashtag power to the students. Yay! Kaso bukas pa yan, so magsasolve tayo. Heart. I thank you, Lord. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kasi hindi pa ako gumagawa ng PowerPoint sa isa kong class. Natamad pa ako. Buti na lang. Okay. So, sana ma-move yung sana yung midterm ma-move, no? Kasi pag di na-move yung midterm, yari tayo. Ayan. So, thank you, Lord, no? Akala nyo kayo lang tinatamad. Ako rin, di ba? Ganon talaga. Nakapagod mag-online class, no? Kasi ako kahit nasa bahay lang tayo, 'di ba? Medyo pagod na tayo, no? Kung kayo pagod kayo sa aral, kami pagod naman kami sa pag-prepare, no? So, kumbaga parehas lang talaga tayong biktima ng online classes, no? So, kaya ako inuunawa ko na lang yung ano, yung mga ibang subjects nyo na medyo strict, no? Kaya ako sinasabi ko sa inyo, sige, bahala kayo, mag-upload kayo dyan or what, no? So, inayaan ko kayo, binibigyan ko kayo ng freedom. Kasi alam ko naman, hindi naman tayo pare-parehas ng situation, no? So, kaya ako, ayoko mag-strict, no? So, yun. So, tulungan lang tayo. Kasi, pag tayo pa yung nagpahirap sa kapwa natin, GG tayo. No? So anyway, so continue tayo. So alam natin, pahinga tayo tomorrow until 30. No? Ano kayo pwede ko gawin doon? So anyway, magtutuloy ko na yung mga YouTube stuff ko. Okay? So anyway, so letter B. Ano na tayo? Nakalimutan na yung ginagawa. No? Mass carbon. So kunin natin yung mass ng carbon. Okay, so we already have the moles of carbon. Then now we're going to get the mass of carbon. Paano? Pag nakalimutan, gawa ng triangle. Grams, mole, mm. Marksman. So kung gusto mo kunin yung mass, yung grams, that is mole times the molar mass na. So that is mole carbon times molar mass ng carbon. Hindi ko lang kung naririnig nyo, pero ang ingay ng aso ko sa baba eh. Okay, so anyway, so that's 15 moles carbon times the molar mass of carbon. Ano ba yung molar mass of carbon? Pag di kabisado, tingin sa periodic table. 12.011 G-mol. Okay, so cancel yung mole. Then we are left with 180, 165 grams carbon. Marami talaga, no? Again, by the way, gusto ko pala na yung final answer, i-round off natin to 2 decimal places, no? Okay, so yung final answer lang yung i-round off. Okay, kasi naalala ko yung prof ko, pag niro-round off namin yung mga sagot sa gitna before the final answer, nagagalit yun sa amin, no? So, ganun din gagawin natin, no? So yung dulo lang yung yung dulo lang yung i-round off. Anything in between ay hindi, no? So ganyang karaming carbon ang meron sa 2.5 moles ng glucose, no? Okay, so acceptable naman 'yan. Gaano ba kadami yung 2.5 moles ng carbon? So that's 180, 156 times 2.5. Kalahating kilo kasing katumbas na ito, no? So, dun sa 450 grams ng glucose, 180 doon ay carbon, no? So, ganun. So, kalahating kilo kasi yan. Kaya, acceptable naman yung answer natin. Okay? So, that's how you solve problems like that, na. Sasagot pa akong isa, number 3. Sakit na ng lalamunan ko. So, anyway, number 3. Ano nakalagay dito? How many moles of sodium ion are there in 563 grams sodium sulfate? Ano yun? Mole. Teka lang. Mole is Na plus from 563 grams. 563 grams. Na2SO4. Okay. Sige. So let's answer number 3. The moles of sodium atom from 563 grams of sodium sulfate. No? Okay. So, gawa tayo ng scheme ng pag-answer, no? So, pero kung expert na kayo, okay na kahit di na gumawa na. Pero ako, for now, papakita ko yung proper way of answering this. No? So, we start with the given quantity. Anong given quantity? Grams Na2SO4, no? So, ang ending niyan, kailangan makuha natin ay mole ng Na+. By the way, kung may charge yan o wala, same pa rin yan ng process, no? Kung ano yung ginawa natin dito, ganun din yung gagawin natin dyan. Eh, sir, may charge po. Okay lang. No? Okay lang kahit may charge or wala. No? So, wag magugulantang, ha? So, yan. May charge man yan or wala, same pa rin yung process. Okay, so we have grams of sodium sulfate, no? Hindi natin pwede i-convert yon sa moles ng sodium, no? So, i-convert muna natin to mole of Na2SO4. Then, kapag na-convert na natin ito into moles of this, doon na tayo pwede mag-convert to Na+. Okay, so again, wag magugulantang, no? Same lang yan, no? Okay, so ganun lang. Oo. Ano ba yan? Nagtanong agad sila ng schedule, nagkaklase pa ako. Mamaya na lang. So anyway, kupost na lang ako mamaya, no? They're all, no? So anyway, so convert muna tayo. Ano na pwede ko gawin? So sige, tuloy na tayo, no? So yan. So convert ko itong mass into moles, then saka ko siya i-convert into moles of Na+, no? So sige, so I have two conversions, 1 and 2. Okay, so punta muna ako sa A. I want to get mole of sodium sulfate. So I begin with grams of sodium sulfate. Anong gagawin ko to get moles divided by the molar mass, no? Pag nakalimutan, gamitin ang tatsulok, no? Pag pagod na, ayun, so tuloy lang, no? So 563 grams sodium sulfate. Tapos, molar mass ng sodium sulfate. Oh, hindi ko kabisado yan, syempre. Okay, so sodium, 2299. Sulat ko nga dito. Sodium, 2299 times 2. Na2 eh. SO4. 32. Teka lang. Sodium sulfate ba? Sodium fluoride? Sodium sulfate. Number 1 pala yung nasa isip ko. Ay, sodium sulfur oxygen 15999 para siyang German, no? No 999, no? SO4. So ito in total i-add ko lang, ha, wait lang. So that's 142,036 G mol, grams per mole. Okay, so lagay natin dito 142,036 G mol. Okay, cancel yung grams, we're left with moles na. So ayan, so divide ko lang, ha. Ay, teka lang, sa baba ko ilalagay. Oops, ang daming number. So okay lang, copy nyo lahat. Okay, so sa ngayon, sasabihin ko, i-copy nyo muna yung entire number, no? Huwag mag-round off. Magagalit yung prof ko dati, no? So, yan. Medyo scarred na yung buhay ko dahil doon. Hindi, joke lang. Hindi, ano yan. Siya yung malaking inspiration sa akin. Ba't ako napunta sa academe, no? Okay, so yan. Mole, Na2SO4. Okay, so ganun. So, wag mo na mag-round off. Copy all the numbers muna, okay? Then, let's proceed with the next step. Mole Na2SO4 to mole Na+. Now, looking at the formula, 1 mole Na2SO4, this is equal to how many mole of Na+? So, to answer that, kunin mo lang yung subscript. 2 yon. So, dapat 2 moles yan. Ganun lang, easy, di ba? So we can now solve for the mole Na+. So that's mole Na2SO4 times the conversion factor. So nasa baba yung 1 mole Na2SO4. Nasa taas yung 2 mole Na+. So, ganun ha. So, plug in mo na lang yan. So, hindi ko na i-rewrite. Sayang yung, wala naman ink, no? Pero nakakatamad eh. So, basta copyhin mo na lang yan. I-multiply mo dito sa 2, no? So, yan. So, cancel. So, we will have our final answer. 0.07927567659 mole Na+. And again, since this is the final answer, we can round this off to 2 decimal places. Okay, so pwede na yan, no? Masaya na ako dyan. Okay, so simple lang naman ang final answer natin. Okay, so that's the final answer, no? So that's for A and B, no? By the way, no? So bukas pa yung walang klase, ha? So ngayon may klase na rin tayo, no? So I want you to solve numbers 1, 4, and 5, no? So this time, instead na lahat tayo mag-upload dito, gusto ko mayroong tatlong representatives na magsasagot ng 1, 4, and 5, no? Para silang tatlo lang yung mag-upload ng answer. Okay? So sino yung gusto mag-volunteer who wants to answer 1, sino sa 4, sino sa 5? Si Raf. Ano gusto mo, Raf, friend? So may tatlo tayong volunteer, si Raf, si Olsen, pati si John Gabriel na. Sige. So ano gusto ni Raf? Teka lang. Ayaw mo bukas ng chat box. Wait lang ha. Ano nangyari sa Microsoft Teams ko? Wait lang. So one si Raf. Si Jan ay sa 5. So, ibig sabihin si Olsen. Si Olsen nag-raise ng hand, di ba? So, sige. So, dito ka na lang sa 4. Okay. So, hindi porket nagsasagot sila, yung iba ay mag-rest na, no? So, nag-answer pa rin yung iba, though, ayun. So, yung tatlong representatives natin, sila yung magpo-post ng answer sa meeting chat natin. So, I will give you 10 minutes, no? So, babalikan ko kayo by, sir, paano pag mali ako? Okay lang. Kung sabi nga, no, pag nagkakamali, okay lang. So, learn from the mistakes. Pero okay lang yan. Alam ko tama ka. No? I'm sure, sir, pag mali. Okay lang yan. Saluhin ka ni sir. Ganun. So, okay lang. Sa akin, wala akong problema kapag tama or mali, no? So, alam niyo naman, students naman kayo eh. So, okay lang sa akin na magkamali kayo, no? So, okay lang yun. Okay, so, no pressure. So, okay? So, basta answer 1, 4, and 5. Sasagutan din naman natin sila later on, no? Okay, so yan. So, I will give you 10 minutes. So, actually 13 minutes, no? So, I will get back to you by, sana all binabalikan, 6 p.m. Kasi 47 na eh, no? Plus 10 minutes, 57. Gawin na natin 13 minutes, no? So, babalikan ko kayo by 6 p.m., no? So, answer muna kayo. Okay, so mabilis lang naman yan, no? Pero sa mga mabagal mag-solve, no? So, I will give you time, no? To ayun, basta yan, magsagot. Sige. So, sige. So, I'll wait for your answers na lang, no? Pero pag tapos na, you can post it on the meeting chat, no? Send nyo na lang. Then, we will verify if the answers are correct, no? Or wrong, no? So, okay. Sige. Babalikan ko kayo by 6 p.m. So, screenshot ko itong question. Post ko na lang dito sa meeting chat natin, no? So, you can para pwede nyo ba rin ma-save. Yeah. Ito pala yung answers natin. Ay, teka lang. Yung answers pala. Kalimutan ko i-post. To answer sa 2. To answer sa 3. Ayan, so yan yung pwede niyong pagbasihan. So, kita-kits mamayang 6 na. Okay, so post nyo na lang kapag may answer na kayo ha. So, sige. Okay, so yan. So let's proceed, no? Okay, so yan yung answers nila, no? So I will show the complete solution. So dito ako natagalan, no? Nakita akong meme sa Facebook, so nag-enjoy ako. Tapos naalala ko na ako pala ipakita yung solution. Okay, so for number 1, the answer is 0.65 or 0.66 moles, no? Pag na-round off natin. Okay, so that is just mass over molar mass. So you get the moles instantly, no? So yun lang. So yan. So I hope you got the same answers, no? Popost ko yung answers mamaya sa ating chat box, no? After the class. Then for number 4, ang answer niya ay ano ba yung tanong dito? Ang tanong sa 4 ay ano? Ang sa 4 ay molecules eh. So that means if molecules yan, that means we have to use the ano, the Avogadro's number. Although tama yung moles, no. So i-convert na lang to Avogadro's number. So again, pag molecules, atoms or ions yung hinahanap, kailangan gamitin yung Avogadro's number. So this is our solution scheme. So from grams, ginawa nating moles, then molecules, no. So in this conversion from molecules to atoms, molecules to ions, molecules to moles to molecules, no. So yun, kailangan natin ng Avogadro's number here. So to get the moles, that is mass over molar mass. So we have 1.99 times 10 raised to negative 3. Dot yan na. Then to get the number of molecules, all you have to do is to multiply this by the Avogadro's number. 6.022 times 10 raised to 23. Then our final answer is we have 1.20 times 10 raised to 1 molecules of aspirin. Okay, so yan yung ating correct answer for number 4. So 1.20 times 10 raised to 21. Okay, then let's have the last one. So, ang kailangan natin dito is moles ng copper 1 ion. So madali lang yan. So, mass of copper nitrate to moles copper nitrate. Then, yung moles copper nitrate, doon natin kukunin yung copper plus ion. Okay? So, that is this divided by this. You have this 4.22 something something. No? Then, for you to get the copper ion conversion, 1:1 lang naman yung ratio nila. No? So, we have 1 copper 1 ion here. And we have 1 copper naman sa formula. So, 1 times 1 lang yan. Ay, 1/1 lang yan. So, the correct answer is, pwede yung 0.00422, no? So, or this, you can use scientific notation whenever dealing with very small numbers, no? So, pwede ito, 4.22 times 10 raised to negative 3 moles of copper plus, no? So, again, post ko na lang yung answer ngayon, no? Para may copy kayo. So, you can save it, no? Teka lang. So, post ko na dyan sa ating discussions. Okay, so yan, you have your solutions with you now. Okay, so with that, we can now proceed with the next topic. This would be the last topic for today, no? Yes, no. Kasi ako ay nagugutom na rin, no? So, last topic na for this day. Okay, so we'll have stoichiometry. So, intro lang yung kanina. Ito yung mismong topic natin. Okay, so let's discuss stoichiometry. So, when we say stoichiometry, this is actually a study of identifying the amounts of matter in your chemical reaction. So, this came from the Greek word stoichio and metros. No? So, yung metros, measurement, stoichio, that pertains to the amount of substance. No? So, stoichiometros, amounts of substance in a chemical reaction. No? So, yun lang. So, that means we can use chemical equations here. No? So, yan. Ako personally, I treat my chemical equations as your recipe. No, kunwari, magluluto ka ng pancake. If you're going to make pancake, kunwari, sabi doon, 3 cups of flour and 5 pieces of egg, no? So, that will make, let's say, 8 pancakes, no? So, yun yung aking chemical equation. Para siyang, kumbaga, susulat ko siya, 5 eggs plus 3 cups ng flour. That will give me 8 pancakes. Di ba? Para siyang chemical equation lang, no? So, ganun yung treatment ko sa aking chemical equations. Para siyang recipe. So, this is your product after making the recipe, no? Ito yung mga required substances mo. So, ganito yung approach na gusto ko na mapansin nyo when doing chemical equations. Kasi if tinignan nyo yan as ganyan, ma-overwhelm kayo, no? Pero imagine nyo, no, recipe lang yan. Okay, so recipe lang yan, no? So, okay. So, for example, we have this, no? By the way, the equations should be balanced, no? Kasi, again, responsibility natin to check to check if ang equation ay balanced, no? So, okay. So, for example, we have this equation, N2 plus 3H2 yielding 2NH3. Okay, so we have nitrogen gas, 3 hydrogen gas, and 2 ammonia. Okay, so last time, ang usage ng ating coefficients is to determine the amounts or the multiplier needed to make the equation balance na. Pero may other purpose din ang ating coefficients. So ano yung purpose ng coefficient? Their purpose is to tell you about the quantity of that substance needed for the reaction. So, ibig sabihin yan, kung ito ay recipe, kailangan mo ng 1 cup of nitrogen gas, 3 cups of hydrogen gas, that will give you 2 cups of ammonia. Parang ganun yung idea. But hindi naman cups ang usapan natin dito. Remember, in chemistry, we quantify substances based on the number of moles. No? So that means our coefficients are pertaining to the number of moles of the substance needed for the reaction. So that means we need 1 mole of N2, 3 moles of H2, and and 2 moles of NH3. So ito yung mga meaning ng coefficients, no. So they are just not multipliers. They are also the number of moles of the substance, no. So yan. So it tells us the right proportion of substances when doing chemical equations. And what do we know about this, no? Ano pwede natin gawin sa coefficients, no? Okay. We can create stoichiometric relationships out of it, no? Pwede tayo kumuha ng mga relasyon mula sa coefficients. So these are the following relationships, no? We can say that 1 mole of N2 is equivalent to 3 moles of H2. And that is also equivalent to 2 moles NH3. So equal sila, no? Teka lang. Sulat ko nga. 1 mole N2, that is equivalent to 3 moles H2, and that is also equivalent to 2 mole NH3. No? So lahat yan ay equal as long as balanced yan. Okay? So we can derive these relationships. No? Saan natin to gagamitin? No? So we can actually use this para gumawa ng conversion factors. So we can use those relationships as conversion factors because we will be converting one substance to another, no? So yun yung stoichiometry. Yung from one substance na meron ka, you will identify the amount of the other substance based on the given information. So paano uli natin malalaman yung amount ng other substance? We use stoichiometric relationships, no? So saan makikita yung stoichiometric relationships? Sa balanced equation natin, okay? So let's have some few examples. So beginning with this previous equation, if I have 15 moles of N2, how much NH3 will be produced? No? Okay, so I begin with N2. Ito yung aking given. No? Ito yung given. NH3, ito yung aking desired. No? So, yun yung gusto ko ma-solve, no? So, that means I have to convert N2 to NH3. So, when converting N2 to NH3, again, when converting one substance to the other substance, they should be expressed in moles. Ibig sabihin, kunwari, nakagram yan, ay, para mag-convert ka from N2 to NH3, that should be expressed in moles first. Grams to moles muna, then saka ka mag-convert. Bawal yung grams tas diretso grams. Bad yun. Magagalit yung magagalit yung equation. So again, when doing conversions, dapat mole to mole ang conversion, especially in stoichiometry. So kung grams to, gawin mo munang moles. No? Pag mole yan, edi okay na, you can proceed na. So for example, we have here the mole na. So ito yung mole na. We have 50 moles of this, convert natin to NH3. So madali lang yan, no? Because we know that 1 mole N2 is 2 moles NH3. So saan natin nakuha yan? Dito. 1 mole of N2, 2 moles of NH3. So yun yung equivalence nila. So all we have to do to convert 15 moles of N2 to NH3 is to write this equation. Mole N2 times the conversion factor. Nasa baba yung N2, nasa taas ang NH3. No? Bakit nasa baba yung N2? So we can cancel them. Nasa taas ang NH3, so yun yung matitira. No? Saan galing yung 1 and 2? Nasa balanced equation. Okay? So you just plug in all the numbers. No? So 15 moles times 2 over 1. So you have 30 moles of NH3. No? So that's the final answer already. So ganun lang. So basically, stoichiometry is just conversion. So yung ginagawa natin on chapter 1, ginagawa din natin until now. Ano lang yung spice? May equation na tayo. So yung mga equation na yan, that serves as our conversion factors. No? Kaya nothing to worry talaga with stoichiometry. Kasi again, ang gusto kong mindset nyo, pag nakakita kayo ng ganito, isipin nyo yan as recipes, no? Isipin nyo yan as conversion factors lang. So, ganun ha. Para hindi tayo ma-overwhelm, no? So, isipin mo yan na ano lang yan, convert lang yan, which is true. Kino-convert lang natin ito to NH3. So, paano? Kuha ka lang ng conversion factor. Okay? So, mas mahirap pa nga yung chapter 1 kaysa dito, no? Kasi ito, makikita mo na yung conversion factors, no? So, yan. Okay, so ganito yung format, ha? So, sabi ko dito sa slide na to, madali lang siya. As long as number 1, you know how to solve the mass-mole relationship. Madali lang yan kasi may triangle tayo dyan, di ba? The grams, mole, and the molar mass, no? So, easy lang, no? And then, number 2, yun, so madali lang yung gawin. Ano pa yung second requirement? You should be able to balance equation. So, madali na dapat sa atin yung pag-balance ng equation. So, we can derive the correct relationships between substances. Kasi kung mali yung balance mo, mali yung sagot. So, yan yung pangit, no? So, ito yung general format. Ito yung scheme ng stoichiometry. So, you will be given one of these. No? So, you have your substance A. That is the given substance. And usually, pinapa-convert yon to the desired substance, the molecule, or the substance B. So, again, when we are converting substance A to substance B, kailangan naka-express sila in moles. Hindi pwede yung gram to gram. Pangit yon, no? So, kailangan naka-mole na sila. So, from mole, dun ka pwede mag-convert to other mole. No? So, hindi pwede yung grams, gawin mong grams din ng kabila. No? So, you show this muna. No? So, ganito lang yung process. Gram to mole, mole to gram. Okay? So, ganun lang. Grams to mole, mole to gram. Grams of the given substance to mole of the given substance. Then, mole of the desired substance. Then, grams of the desired substance. So, ano yung shortcut dito, no? Ayun, so, yan. So, maganda yung may copy kayo niyan, no? So, ito yung scheme. Grams to mole, mole to grams. Okay. Yung A, ang given. B ang desired, no? So let's have some problems, no? Magkaroon tayo ng problema. Ay, walang solution. So ako na pala magso-solve nito. So matatapos na yung meeting natin. Ay, sa wakas. Itong limiting and excess, next time na lang to, ha? So ideally next week, but on Monday, we are still sakop tayo ng suspension of classes. Ito pala yung nakalagay sa post nakalagay sa post nila. Sabi dito sa group chat namin ay from the Academic Affairs Office in anticipation of the nationwide telecom week-long maintenance, FEU Manila, Makati, and Cavite campuses will only conduct asynchronous classes on all levels from 12:01 of September 25 to 7:30 of September 30. Until 7:13 lang ng umaga sa September 30. Ibig sabihin may klase kayo sa Wednesday nun. Okay. All graded submissions due during the telecom maintenance will be rescheduled. So, iuurong ko uli yung quiz nyo na. Though mag-open na ako ng quiz for the chapter 4 na. So, open na siya until next time na. So ibig sabihin nun, ano pala, no? Wala tayong synchronous classes like what we do. No? Pero pwede yung asynchronous class. No? So, yung asynchronous class, magre-record na lang ako ng sarili ko. Parang ganito din, no? Tapos, you watch it on your free time na lang. Okay. So, yun yung sabi kasi ni FEU. And yun nga, yung graded requirements, i-move ko yung deadlines. Okay, so yan lang. So let's end this day by answering 2 problems. Then I will leave you the rest of the items for you to practice now. Okay, so ito yung stoichiometry exercises natin. So we have 5 exercises here. I will answer 2 of them now. So ito yung susagutan ko, 1 and 2. So I will leave 3, 4, and 5 for you to practice now. So this is take-home activity. So, nasa bahay na kayo. Answer 3, 4, 5. Tapos meron pa akong ipapagawa, no? Worksheet 4.2 item 1 ABC. So asan yung worksheet 4.2? So punta lang kayo ng Canvas, no? Feeling ko tatambakan kayo sa ibang classes nyo, no? Feel ko lang. Sana hindi, no? So, punta lang kayo ng Canvas, go to discussions. Okay. So, punta kayo ng stoichiometry. So, I uploaded here the worksheet, na. So, di ko alam kung sinagutan nyo yung balancing, na. Pero kayo bahala. Freedom nyo naman yan, na. Pero this time, I will suggest you to answer the following items. So, itong number 1 lang. So, you will write the equation for the reaction. Then, moles of oxygen required to react that. Then, that na. So, stoichiometry stuff lang. Yung next problems kasi ay may limiting and excess reagent na. No? So, yun yung gagawin na lang natin in asynchronous way na. So, ako na mag-upload na. Okay? So, yun lang. Yun. So, dito nyo makuha yung worksheet 4.2, no? So, discussions, chapter 4, no? Yan. So, dyan yung makikita yung activity na yan. So, kailan yan? Anytime. Kahit next week, Monday, i-post nyo, okay lang, no? So, yan. So, saan ilalagay ito? Canvas. Discussions. Okay? So, screenshot ko na. So, yan. So, ang sasagutan ko lang is item 1 and 2. No? So, para may practice kayo. Teka lang, lipat ko lang to. Dito na lang siya. Okay, okay. So, ayan, may space na ako. So, number 1. Ang sabi dyan, for the previously given reaction, how many grams of M2 are needed to produce 7.5 grams NH3? Sulat ko muna dito yung reaction. So, let's have number 1, stoic 1. So, for the previous reaction daw, that's N2 plus 3H2, 2NH3. So, ano tanong? Grams of N2 to produce 7.5 grams NH3. Ang hinahanap, grams of N2 to produce 7.5 grams ammonia. So, ito yung question. So, from this equation, I am asked to solve for the grams of nitrogen gas needed to produce NH3. So, ito yung gagawin ninyo. So, ganito. Ang given item, dun ka mag-start na. So, you start with this. Ito yung given item na. So, gawin natin itong format, no? Itong nandyan sa meeting chat nyo, yung in-screenshot ni John Gabriel. So, gagawin natin yung format na yan dito sa problem na to. So, we begin with the grams of the given substance. Ito yung given. Ano yung desired? Yung N2, no? So, ano gagawin natin? Conversion from given to desired, no? So, given tayo ng grams ng NH3. So, ano gagawin natin dyan? We have to convert it to mole of NH3. So, ganun yung process. Then, once we have the mole of NH3, we can now do stoichiometric relationships. No? So, pwede na natin siya i-convert from one substance to another as long as nakamole yan. So, mole of the desired substance, N2, then eventually, grams of N2. Okay? Walang shortcut from here to there. Dadaanan mo yan lahat na. So, how many calculation steps ang needed? So, this is the first calculation. This is the calculation A. This is the second calculation and the last calculation. So, sagutan natin sila isa-isa, no? So, okay. So, again, we begin with the given item. We end with the last item. Minsan naman, hindi yan always grams. Minsan, okay na sila sa moles, no? So, stop ka na doon pag mole lang yung kailangan. Okay. So, anyway, pero this time, full equation tayo, no? So, let's begin with the first process. Grams to mole NH3. So, madali lang yan. Mole NH3 is grams NH3 divided by its molar mass, no? So, ano yung grams? 7.5 grams NH3 divided by the molar mass. Solve ko lang. NH3, 14,007. So, that's 17,031 G-mol. Again, cancel yung units. So, we're left with moles, no? Bawal round off. Magagalit yung prof ko. So, ayan. Kompletuhin muna natin, no? So, 0.4403734367 mole NH3. Okay, so that's the first step. Malapit na ako sa katotohanan. Isa pa, letter B. So, ano sabi dito? From mole NH3, kailangan ko ng mole N2. Okay, so nang papansin nyo, we are converting one substance to other substance. So, kapag nako-convert na tayo ng one substance into the other, we use the stoichiometric relationship na. So, ano ba yung relationship ng N2 at NH3? Sila ay, ito yung boy best friend ni NH3, no? So, ano yung relationship nila? So, ito yung 1 mole ng N2 that is equal to 2 mole of NH3, no? So, yan. So, ito si Jermerlin, ito si, hindi ko alam kung ano yung pangalan sa lalaki. Si Marlo, no? So, yan, mag-best friend sila, no? So, ayan, ito yung kanilang relationship in stoichiometric terms. No? So, 1 mole N2, 2 mole NH3. Okay, so ganun lang. Then we can use that relationship to convert one substance to the other. No? So, gawin na natin. Anong kailangan ko gawin? Mole N2. So, meron tayong mole NH3 na, no? Iko-convert na lang natin yan into N2. So, we use this conversion factor. So, sino yung nasa baba? Si Gemerlin, no? So, 2 mole NH3. So, nasa taas si N2. Bakit? To cancel the units. Okay? Ayan. So, ako medyo tinatamad ako. Ikakopy ko na lang to. Ayan. Speed, no? Sana pwede rin to sa notebook, no? Imagine yung notebook kung kaya lang mag-copy-paste, no? Siguro, may flying cars na ngayon. Ayun. Diba? Tapos na. Mole NH3. Then, i-convert na lang natin. 1 mole N2, 2 mole NH3. Cancel, cancel. Sagutin ko lang times 1/2. Or basically, divide by 2 lang. So, that's 0, 2, 2, 0, 1, 8, 6, 7, 1, 8, 3. Mole and N2. Okay? So, yan. So, yan. So, tapos na ako sa second step. One last step. Okay, one last step. So, we are able to convert ammonia into nitrogen gas using the stoichiometric relationship that we obtain from the chemical equation. So, dito tayo nag-base. No? Lagyan ko nga ng highlight yan. Ayan. So, dyan tayo nag-base. No? Okay? So, after that last step, mole N2 to grams N2. So, same substance na yan. So, mass-mole relationship na lang yan. No? Grams N2. From mole N2, you just have to multiply it by the molar mass. No? Nakaantok, no? Ay. What's 14,007 times 2? 28,014. G mole. Cancel yung mole. So, you're left with grams of nitrogen gas. No? So, i-round off ko na to 2 decimal places. Kasi final answer na ako eh. Okay, so that's 6.17 grams N2. That is my final answer. So, ano mapapansin nyo sa stoic? Madali lang siya. No? Madali lang yan. Kung mapapansin nyo, puro conversion lang pinaggagawa natin, di ba? Convert mole mass to mole. Yung triangle lang yon. Convert mole to mole. Stoichiometry lang yon. Convert mole to grams. Triangle lang uli yon. So, kung napapansin nyo, paulit-ulit lang talaga siya. No? Kasi ganun naman talaga yung chemistry. No? Ulit-ulit lang yan. Nagle-level up nga lang. No? So, yun yung gusto ko i-share sa inyo, no? Na do not think na intimidating to, no? Kasi ganun ginagawa ko sa senior high ko. Sabi ko, hindi yan mahirap, no? Nasa isip mo lang yan, no? Okay, so ganun naman kasi talaga, no? Kasi kung mapapansin nyo, conversion lang yan, no? Yun yung simplest sense niya. Conversion lang siya. So as long as you know how to lay out your solution, tama yung magiging sagot mo. May nag-question sa akin kanina. Sabi niya, Sir, kailangan ko po ba talaga i-ganyan na yan? Pwede po ba yung idire-diretso ko na lang? Ako personally, hindi ko ginaganyan yung solution ko. Dire-diretso na ako. No? As in, isang pindutan sa calcu pagkalabas. Yun yung final answer. So, okay sa akin yun if you are okay na with stoichiometry. Again, okay na yung hindi kayo mag one by one pag okay kayo sa stoichiometry. Pero, kung medyo nahihirapan pa rin kayo or gusto niyo pa ma-practice lalo, so you really have to do it step by step, no? So, yun. So, lahat naman ng mga expert nag-umpisa sa small steps, no? So, mag-small steps muna tayo until we become expert of this topic, na. So, ganun, no? So, kami kasi, no, mga teacher ninyo, hindi na namin ginagawa yan, no? Gaganon-ganon lang kami sa isip namin, no? So, yun, may sagot na, no? So, ganun lang. So, kayo mga students, kaya ganito yung solution ko para makita nyo yung flow. Ganito yung sequence ng answer. And kung mapapansin nyo, lahat ng equal sign ko, pantay-pantay. Bakit? Yung kasi sabi ng prof ko. May until now, naririnig ko, oy, ipantay mo yan. So, pantay-pantay na. So, ganun kasi yung proper way of writing solutions. No? Kailangan malinis. No? Di na bale pangit yung sulat. Basta kita mo yung flow. Okay? So, yun lang. So, that's the proper way of writing solutions for stoichiometry. So, hindi siya mahirap ha. Sabihin nyo na agad sa sarili nyo, hindi siya mahirap. Conversion lang ito. Kasi conversion lang yan. Okay? So, yun, in a simplest sense, conversion lang yan. So, let's have the last example before tayo magkita next week, Thursday ulit na. So, makita nyo naman ako asynchronous. Mag-upload na lang ako ng video na ako lang mag-isa. So, ayun. So, sige. Number 2. What mass of aluminum oxide is required to prepare 27 grams of aluminum? Sige. So, send ko na ngayon. Save nyo na lang yung mga screenshots ha. Sa mga previous questions, I mean previous chapters, kung gusto nyo yung screenshot, i-ano nyo na lang sa YouTube, no? Tinignan ko naman yung quality sa YouTube. Pag naka 1080p, malinaw pala talaga, no? So, yan. So, yan. So, you have your solution for number 1. No? So, keep in mind, ha? Conversion lang yan lahat. Huwag magugulat. Huwag matatakot. Mas mahirap pa mag-online dating ngayon kaysa mag-stoichiometry. Ha? So, yan. Isipin nyo na lang. Mas madali pa to kaysa maghanap ng partner. No? Okay. So, ito yung equation. Ano sabi dyan? 27 grams aluminum, mahanapin grams aluminum oxide. So, grams ng aluminum oxide from 27 grams aluminum. So, this is our second problem. Okay, so yeah. So, this is our equation and we have to solve the mass of aluminum oxide from 27 grams aluminum to produce 27 grams of aluminum pala. Okay, so ito, first question. Ano yung important kapag nag-stoichiometry? Number 1, marunong tayo mag-mass mole relationship. Expert na tayo doon. Just use the triangle. Ano yung second na kailangan? Balanced equation. So, tingnan nyo, is the equation balanced? No. Kasi tingnan nyo, we have two aluminum here, isa lang doon, 3 oxygens here, dalawa lang doon. So, let's balance them, no? So, again, huling binabalance yung oxygen. So, balance natin si aluminum. Okay, so 2 aluminum here. So, ngayon, dalawa na yung aluminum doon. Oxygen, tignan nyo. May 3 ako dito, may 2 ako doon. Ano pwede ko i-multiply sa 2 para maging 3? Yun ay 3 halves. Pwede ko yung gawin dito, no? 3 halves. Balance na yan. Okay? Okay, so ganun lang. Easy. Pero again, yung final answer natin parate, most of the time, naka-whole number, no? So, kung gusto mo yung gawing whole number, you just have to multiply everything by 2. So, para ma-cancel yung denominator, no? So, if you multiply everything by 2, lagay ko na yung sagot na. Oops, nawala. So, if you multiply everything by 2, you will have 2Al2O3, 4 aluminum, 3O2. So, ganun lang. Balance na yan. Okay? So, 4 aluminum, 6 oxygens. So, yun yung important thing ha. So, dito na tayo babase ng ating solution. Always check your equation if it is balanced. Pag hindi balanced, i-balance. No? Kasi kapag nagkamali kayo dyan, mali na itong B and C nyo. Sayang effort. Usually, yung last point lang, yung last answer lang yung may point, di ba? So, sad life. No. So, anyway, so let's proceed. Gagawa na ako ng scheme, no? Yung pattern ng pag-answer. So, this is my given substance. This is my desired, no? So, I will begin with 27 grams of aluminum. Paano ko nalaman na given substance? Binigay yung amount niya, 27 grams, no? So, ito yung, dito ako mag-umpisa and I should end with grams ng aluminum oxide. So, again, bago tayo mag-convert, no? Ano yung format? Grams, mole, grams. Grams aluminum, mole aluminum. Tapos, pagdating dito, pwede na tayo mag-convert from aluminum to aluminum oxide, no? Okay, so ganun yung format. Grams, mole, grams. Given, desired. Okay, so ganun lang. So, ilang steps yung solving ko? Isa, dalawa, tatlong solving. Ay, pagod na ako, Lord. So, anyway, so sagot tayo. So, mole aluminum. So, from the mass, kukunin mo ang mole. So, that is just dividing the mass by the molar mass. Grams aluminum, molar mass aluminum. So, that's 27 grams aluminum divided by molar mass. So, di ko kabisado. Tingin sa periodic table. 26,982. Okay, so 26,982. Ay, ito. 26,982 G-mol. Okay? Pindutin ko lang sa calcu. Again, bawal mag-run off na. 27, 26,982, 1.00067, 1. Hala, parang masamang pangitain yung 1. So, this is mole of aluminum. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na ako sa first step. Di ba? Second step. Mole of aluminum to mole of aluminum oxide. So, pag ganyan na, for conversion na tayo from one substance to the other, tingin tayo sa formula. Ito yung aluminum, ayun yung aluminum oxide. So, pwede tayo mag-convert, no? So, anong relasyon nila? Sila ay, BFF, no? So, si aluminum, ang coefficient niya ay 4. Si aluminum oxide, ang coefficient niya ay 2. So, we can use this conversion factor, no? Oops, hindi pantay equal sign ko. Magalit teacher ko. Ayan. Yan. Okay, so sige. So, I will now convert yung aking aluminum to aluminum oxide, no? So, mole aluminum oxide, mole aluminum times the conversion factor. Sino nasa baba, yung ika-cancel. Aluminum. Sino nasa taas, yung aluminum oxide. Then, lagay mo lang yung coefficient. Okay? So, 2 and 4. Okay. Then, plug in. Copyin ko na lang para mabilis. Yan. Diba? Speed, no? Times the conversion factor. 2 mole Al2O3 divided by 4 mole Al. Then, ano mapapansin nyo? Aluminums can cancel out, no? So, we are now left with Al2O3. So, basically, you just divide it by 2, no? Divide by 2. 0.5 0, 0, 3, 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, 7 mole aluminum oxide. Okay? Last step. Malapit na ako matapos. Ay, thank you Lord na. Last one. From mole aluminum oxide to grams aluminum oxide. So this is just the triangle, no? So sige. So triangle tayo, no? So grams aluminum oxide. That's mole aluminum oxide times the molar mass aluminum oxide. So ganun ha. Okay, so copy ko na lang. Copy ko yan. Oops, di nasama yung 3. Wala, ano nangyari? Ulit ko ulit. Yan. Copy. Yan. Times the molar mass. Ayun, so di ko alam yung molar mass. Al2O3. Hindi, alam ko na pala yung atomic mass ng aluminum, no? So, Al2O3, kunin ko na lang dito. Aluminum is 26,982. Oxygen, 15,999. Parang German lang, no? 999. Okay, so, i-add ko lang. Uh, 101, 961. Okay, so yan. 101, 961 G mol. Okay? Burahin ko na to. So, yan. Okay, so what can we notice? The moles will cancel out. So, eventually, we will have our final answer, no? 0.5000. So, the final answer is 51.01 grams aluminum oxide. So, we are now done. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, medyo mahaba ang solution. Yes, wala tayong magagawa doon. However, simple lang naman yung process, no? So, hindi siya intimidating talaga. Mahaba lang. No? Mahaba lang yung process. Pero kayang-kaya yan, no? So, ano mapapansin nyo? We just convert the substances, no? For A, we converted mass to moles. We converted sa B naman, yung mole to another mole. Then, last one, we convert the mole to grams. So, ulit-ulit lang yung equations, no? So, that is the stoichiometry. Okay? So, sa susunod nating pagkikita, ko-continue ko. Siguro maging asynchronous na lang tayo, no? So, mag-upload ako ng video about the, about, ang tawag doon, nakalimutan ko. So, I will upload the video about the limiting and excess reagent and then yung percent yield na lang, no? So, yun. So, I want you to strengthen your knowledge na lang on this matter, no? So, yan. So, lakasan ninyo ang inyong loob sa pagsagot nito. Kasi kayang-kaya yan, okay? So, with that, no? Again, reminder lang, no? Brief reminder. So, I will leave these items for you to practice, no? So, answer 3, 4, 5. And yun nasa worksheet 4.2, items A, B, and C sa Canvas discussions, no? So, kailan ipapasa, sir? Kayo bahala, no? So, you can answer this agad. Pwedeng bukas, pwedeng sa Sabado, pwedeng sa Monday, no? So, ganun, no? Basta mag-isagot lang kayo. Okay, so, and then, if you have time, no? So, kung nga gusto niyo talaga mag-advanced learning, again, yung PowerPoint natin sa Canvas, may audio na siya, no? May audio recording na yon. Andun yung boses ko, no? Pati yung lumang microphone ko. Kaya medyo hindi malinaw yung voice ko. Although audible naman siya, no? So, punta lang kayo ng files. Then, dito yung lecture and lab PowerPoints nyo. So, you download the chapters na lang, no? You need when you are reviewing. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, saan ipopost yung answers, discussions, and look for your section. Diyan. Comment nyo dyan yung sagot nyo. No? So, lagay mo dyan. Yan. So, yan. So, yan. Kunwari yan yung sagot nyo. No? Oops. Okay. So, ganun lang. And, yan. So, upload ko na dito sa chat natin yung answer. Ayan. Then yung sasagutan nyo na ito. Ayan. So with that, so I'm bidding you a very long weekend, no? Pero sana productive yung weekend nyo. Hindi porket walang synchronous classes ay mag-ML na tayo. Patapos na yung season, kaya wag na tayo magpaka-stress sa ML, no? So yun lang. Yun, so at least ano kayo, no, wala kayong synchronous class, makakapagpahinga kayo in terms of tulog. However, yun, mag-layout pa rin kayo ng plan sa study nyo, no? So, ganitong araw, aaralin ko yung ANAFI. Ganitong araw, aaralin ko yung PMLS1. So, ganitong araw, in-org chem naman. O kaya, magdo-WRP ako buong linggo. So, kayo bahala, na. So, basta yon, make your long break productive, no? 1 week din yung halos. So, yun, I'll see you around, no? So, I will post some guidelines, no, about our asynchronous mode of learning. So, gagawa na lang ako ng video recording, no? So, yun lang. So, about the deadlines, I will move it, no? So, siguro mamaya ako na i-move, no? Or bukas na lang. Okay, so i-move ko yung deadline, instead of Saturday siya, most likely Saturday next week na lang uli, no? Although I will upload one quiz, no, for the lab na, no. Mag-upload na ako ng quiz. So kung nakapag-study kayo in advance, edi go, no. Pag hindi, may asynchronous video naman akong i-upload. Okay? So yun lang, and for us to, before we end our class, no. So yun lang, reminders uli, yung mga sasagutan natin, nandito na sa GC natin. And make yourselves productive, no? Kahit tayo ay technically may 1 week break, no? So, pero sana ako, I hope na hindi kayo tambakan ng ibang prof, na. Ako naman kasi, pag ako nagtatambak sa inyo, ano lang, mga quizzes lang, no? Quiz 1, quiz 2, mas matagal pa yung deadline, no? So, yun. So, anyway, so yun lang. I'll see you again next week, no? So, bye-bye and stay safe always. And pag malungkot, tumingin na lang sa Dolomite daw, no? So, stay safe and kain na po tayo ng dinner, no? So, bye-bye and yun lang. Upload ko yung recording sa YouTube nito, ha? So, bye-bye and kain na tayo. I'm hungry.